Good morning and welcome back to the morning commute with Hopi Living in the City. It is 67 degrees down here in the Phoenix area, and it is October 28th, 2025. We are taking a ride to Central Phoenix here. There's a lot of traffic this morning. Looks like it's a patch of vehicles, and then it should ease up a little up there. I got the rear camera rolling right now, getting you guys some footage, and we'll see how that comes out. I had to adjust it a little. It was right on those heating lines, and that's something I didn't consider when I initially installed it. I didn't consider the adjustment or placement of the camera. I just kind of stuck it up there until it's tested. So now it's kind of really stuck on there, and I found a way to just adjust it from the bottom side. You can lift up the camera like you're gonna pop it out, and then you can just put something underneath. So we'll see if this helps. Yesterday it was okay, but you can still see there was a dark line where, you know, right in the center of the camera where the most viewing should be occurring, and that wasn't good. So I got me a cup of Joe here. I have my probiotic drink with my vitamins, and I'm ready to head into work. We had a nice evening yesterday with the boys and the missus. Not sure if you guys knew, but it was a birthday yesterday, so we had taco salad for dinner with cake and ice cream, and it was nice having everybody home in one place. Even the pups were going crazy, especially Gorda. She kept wanting everybody to be together, and she would bark and bark and bark when we start doing things in a different area of the house, and then we'll come back together and she'll calm down. We keep forgetting that she's the eldest in the house. She's older than, I think she was, last time the missus calculated, she was like 52 or 54 or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a good day. We have some training, on-site training today for current and new users of the dictation system, and then just more work on the new instruments and satellite clinic. I also need to continue running reports for sending data to the CDC. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a nice day. It's not too crowded. It's almost 5:30, and we are ready to head into work. So let's see what's on the news today.
There is a little bit of a curiosity factor coming southbound, but once you get to the transition ramp to the eastbound I-10, you will run into some slowing starting at Thomas, and that'll stay with you over to about 83rd Avenue coming into the downtown area. That's the heaviest slowing on the west side, eastbound right now on the 202, heading out towards Tempe, looking good, and same thing with the westbound 202 as you approach the mini stack. John Roller, KTAR News.
Oh boy, the weather a lot different here than in the Caribbean. Sunny sky today with a high of 92, an overnight low of 65 with a clear sky, and sunny tomorrow with a high of 91. Your weather is brought to you by Howard Air and Plumbing. Weather replace or repair, call Howard Air and Plumbing.
At 5:30 here on Arizona's Morning News, the looming shutdown deadline that could hurt nearly 1 million people here in Arizona.
The Hondo Rodeo Fest is back at Chase Field coming up November 7th
relatives and cronies like Steve Witkoff who are functioning in a way that is sort of middlemen and liaisons.
So you've talked about the Bidens, you've talked about people around Trump. When you report all this, do you ever get angry about any of it?
It's not angry, but there's an element of cynicism where I'm always looking for the financial motive or the political motive, and I'm always questioning whether something that is being done and that is being cast as in the best interest of the United States of America is actually driven by something entirely different.
Kenneth P. Vogel is the author of Devils Advocates, the hidden story of Rudy Giuliani, Hunter Biden, and the Washington insiders on the payrolls of corrupt foreign interests. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, Steve.
Now, we mentioned prosecutors' allegations that Hunter Biden violated foreign lobbying laws for his business dealings in Romania. His case ended before those allegations were proven in court. This is NPR News.
And this is Morning Edition on the perfect mix of BBC, NPR, and KJCC News. It's Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. And I'm Phil Mansfield. Good morning. And the cost of streaming services can add up when you are a sports fan. That's why some turn to pirated websites to follow their teams. A bill introduced in Congress is aiming to crack down on that practice. We'll hear more about that in about 15 minutes at 5:44 here on KJCC's Morning Edition.
KJCC is supported by the Arizona Game and Fish Department, the state agency tasked with conserving and protecting more than 800 wildlife species. Learn more at azwildlifehero.com.
Hey, if you got a minute, 60 seconds is all it takes to play your new favorite game. It's called Minute Mix. Just visit play.kjcc.org. Well, it should be the hottest day of the week, 93, the forecast high in Phoenix after reaching 90 yesterday. Average is 85. We should be several degrees above that for looks like the rest of the week. Right now in Phoenix, 66 degrees at 5:30.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Dave Mattingly. Hurricane Melissa is nearing Jamaica as a Category 5 storm. Top sustained winds of 175 miles per hour. Forecasters are warning of catastrophic flooding on the island. President Trump's had a busy day in Japan as he continues his latest trip to Asia. The president met with the newly elected Japanese Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, in Tokyo. The two signed a trade agreement involving rare earth minerals and visited the USS George Washington, where Trump addressed American troops aboard the carrier. In a speech to business leaders, Trump looked ahead to his expected meeting with China's President Xi Jinping on Thursday, where the president hopes to secure a trade deal between the U.S. and China.
That's a big meeting, and I think it's going to work out very well, actually. I think it's going to be great for everybody.
The White House says Trump and Xi will meet in South Korea. New York City's public schools are implementing a new emergency alert system. It's meant to speed up response times to active shooter situations. Jameer Jackson is a student in the school system there.
As a student, do a calculation, whether they say all of that out loud or not. Everybody in this room knows exactly what's going on.
Johnson says using contingency funds to keep SNAP afloat would be illegal, and the only way to keep the program running is for Democrats to agree to end the shutdown.
Coming up on Arizona's Morning News.
How will expiring healthcare subsidies impact the economy? I'm Heidi Hommel.
Arizona veterans are helping a Valley community recover from storm damage. I'm Ballin over storms.
Right now, it's John Roller in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
All right, just past the 5:30 mark. If you are heading northbound on the 101 to head to work this morning, one spot about 2 miles of slowing, all due to a rollover crash. Northbound Loop 101 Iowa Freeway. This is right near Carton's Way, and a whole bunch of debris in the roadway there. It is still dark out there. 2 miles of stop and go slowing right now if you are headed northbound. Southbound 101, a little bit of a curiosity factor there, and then you've got slowing starting at Thomas as you make the transition to the eastbound I-10 coming into downtown Phoenix. Another spot of slowing just up ahead right at the 202 southbound transition coming into the downtown area on the eastbound side of the 10. Southbound I-17, a little bit of slowing starting to develop right at Glendale Avenue, only moderate all the way down to the stack, and the surface streets are still quiet. John Roller, KTAR News.
Sunny skies today with a high of 92. We'll stay right in that range over the next few days. Your weather's brought to you by Howard Air and Plumbing. It is 5:32 and 63 degrees in East Mesa.
So what's worse for the economy? The federal government shutdown or allowing healthcare subsidies to expire?
Arizona U.S. Senator Ruben Gallego says the latter. The Democrat tells the Mike Broom Care Act premiums will go up December 1st unless Congress extends the subsidies.
But now think about this. If we're talking about hundreds of thousands of Arizona families that are now going to start spending less because their insurance rates have doubled.
Gallego says families are already struggling due to 3% inflation. He adds those who lose coverage will have to rely on emergency departments for treatment, which will also be a hit to the economy. Heidi Hommel, KTAR News.
The continuing government shutdown also means that Arizona elected representative Adelita Grijalva remains in limbo, taking her seat in Congress.
Grijalva won the special election to fill her father's seat in the U.S. House more than a month ago. She recently met with voters at a senior center in Somerton, but remains no closer to knowing when she'll represent the people of parts of the West Valley, Tucson, and Yuma County.
Playing these political games is crazy, and we're playing with people's lives, and it's a room full of people that I can look to when I'm thinking about who is it that I'm fighting for.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says Grijalva will be sworn in once Congress is back in session.
That's Faye Fredericks with our TV partners at ABC 15.
Denby is working with a veteran-led organization to try to help clean up homes damaged by that microburst earlier this month.
1,000 Tempe homes were damaged by that mid-October storm. Now nonprofit Team Rubicon is coordinating veterans who are volunteering and helping the city get those properties restored.
Chainsaw operators who can cut up and deal with down trees, make it smaller. Our hand crews can then move to the curb. And we're also seeing a lot of other debris, metal flashing off of houses, rain gutters, things like that. So we've got debris removal crews.
That's Incident Commander Arlie Altamirano. He says the vets get a joy out of helping out.
You're not going to believe me, but it does, I would say, more for us as individuals than it does for the community.
The nonprofit will be working in Tempe until the end of the week. Ballin Overstoles, KTAR News.
All of that rain we saw in recent week.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to tell your loved ones how much you appreciate them. You can pay them a visit. Make sure they are ready for the winter. Ask them if they need any help done around the house or any work done. And you guys enjoy your day. Boston, go.